years go back, way back into time.
Yo, 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 yo. What is the deal, everybody? What's up? What's happening? I am back with another video for you all, but this is a special video. This is a video that goes a lot deeper into our daily life, more specifically into our social and our relationships and our love life, right? I didn't really do any roast today. I wasn't really focused on celebrity antics or whatnot, but I'm here to help people heal, and this one's gonna be about how we can get closer to our partners in this dynamic, male and female. Some things that the guys, us fellas, need to know directly from the ladies that's gonna help us up front to be more successful when we court the women and when we get into a series or an act of sexual intercourse, right? This video helps us fellas have some sort of retrospective or some sort of perspective about what makes sex comfortable for women and how to inevitably get them obsessed over you, right? The things that you need to do and the things that you need to know in advance to make sure that you take care of business in the bedroom, right? A lot of fellas, we just assume that these skills are just hardwired into us and we just gonna do what we do and it's just gonna satisfy the woman. And in a lot of cases, man, and probably 85% of the cases, that's not the case, right? And there's these group of guys that are more or less trained about sex just through pornography and just through, guy conversation, through guy talk, through big fish stories from guys that they knew and grew up with, right? Just took those experiences and those perspectives and coupled them all up with what we saw in pornography, right? And the sad thing is, a lot of people out there watch pornography and probably have a lot of time invested and they're brainwashed by that whole process, right? But guys, don't fear, I'm here. And I have some gems to drop for y'all, right? Today, the actual topic is 5 things women wish we did in bed and how to get her obsessed with you, right? But before we get into it, though, y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button, man. YouTube keeps reminding me that, hey, we want to make sure that your subscribers are real people and not bots. So they like proof, and things like hitting the like button, sharing this video onto other platforms, subscribing and hitting the notification bell is the evidence that they need, right? So yeah, let's get into it, man. Number 1, out of the 5 things, right? Number 1, don't forget foreplay, right? There's a big tip here. Slow down. I had to learn from this mistake myself, right? We have to separate our carnal mind, our mind that's ready to just attack and destroy, and we have to take a moment to realize how our partner, how our woman is feeling, and how we get them to a point of how we're currently feeling, right? So, woman in general warms up differently, right? They don't warm up like us. It's not just stick the key in the ignition and run, engine humming. No. Theirs is more like, if you can imagine trying to start a campfire by using that little gadget that you end up rubbing like 2 sticks together. It's a process, man. It requires an investment in time and some thought involved, right? Guys, don't take away my guy card for this, you know what I mean? But trying to help us all out, get us to where we can all satisfy our women and we can have better, longer lasting relationships, especially for the black community, right? Black love is the theme, you dig? So yes, the theme is stimulate before you penetrate, right? It gives her time to self-lubricate. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number 2, right? Apply the power of tease. Surprisingly and effectively, deep kisses stimulate specific hormones and release specific hormones in a woman's body that allow them to be more engaging with the act of sex that's headed next, right? So this allows her, this primes her, right? This gets her body involved, it gets her hormones involved, which is key, right? Once we get those hormones flowing, that's really when we've unlocked step 2, right? When we begin the obsession process, right? Arousal building. Highlight that. Put 2 asterisks by that phrase. Remember that. Arousal building. That's going to be the universal theme, right? Make sure we take note, guys. Come on. And that takes us to number 3, right? Understanding lubrication, right? There is this general belief that, us guys have that all women, for the most part, have the same amount of lubrication, or they get wet in the same fashion, in the same amount, quantities, right? Without kind of really taking a moment to think that, each individual woman, they self-lubricate differently in different timing, in different amounts, and in different methods, right? So it's always good on the guy's end, on our end, to use oil and lubricant, right? Even go a little step further by doing maybe some oil rubs prior to intercourse. And, there's evidence that can improve overall the experience for both parties, really helping her loosen up those tight, stiff areas with the oil, right? And, the oil, like I said, can also serve as a lubricant for intercourse as well. So it's always good to have that handy. They've mentioned that having that already on the nightstand prior to sex, having that already introduced, when the woman sees that already triggers a hormone release, because that allows her guard to significantly go down, because you're showing her that, hey, you appreciate it, and you've taken the time to understand things further than just jackhammering, We're going to touch on jackhammering in a minute too, man. That's a key part. But don't rush the orgasm is number 4, right? Don't rush it, man. There is no rush. It is not a race to the finish line. This is a marathon. This is going to be an opportunity to display the things that you know to trigger more hormone release for her, right? Time in general makes women feel special, right? She doesn't feel like a tool or just an object that can be interchanged out with a sex toy or a blow-up doll, right? So guys, avoid the urge to jackhammer unless asked to, right? Focused on thrusting slower during intercourse and positioning your pelvis to get a deeper thrust, right? To really get a good angle and a good thrust, right? And I mentioned jackhammering again, right? And being asked to first, right? But that's going to segue us into number 5, which is boldly always take the lead, right? But you got to know when. Because 85% of women require certain, acts of masculinity to really pull closer to you emotionally and sexually. And on top of that, the subtitle for number 5 is clitoris stimulation, right? Over 85% of women require clitoris stimulation to orgasm. Not only penetration, right? But penetration plus clitoris stimulation combos are what really get the woman shaking, what really gets her, you know, her lower body just out of control, right? You really want to leave a lasting impression on the woman, right? Man, give her that combo, man. When you've already got the hormones flowing for her and y'all are getting into it, and you've already had your passionate kissing, and you know, before you start jackhammering, man, get a little bit of clitoris stimulation involved, right? And you can get real creative in this way. It doesn't always have to be, you know, the same position, but make sure you touch on that before you get close to the finish line, man. But oh man, before we get to 15 minutes and they try to cut me off, man, this is the 5 things women wish that guys knew in bed to get her obsessed with you, right? Make sure that you stop by the channel and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And everybody, man, hit that notification bell. All 3, it's all free, man. And I appreciate your time, and hopefully this information in this video helps you out in your life and your love life, man. Y'all take it easy. Yeah.
But I wasn't wrong up in mine. I'm the same nigga from a Snapchat. I'm the same nigga with a gold grill and a herb bone and a Snapchat. Hey, I'ma keep it real, keep it 100. Was a real nigga when I won nothing. I was shooting them twos with the niggas with me. Now passing out twos to the niggas with me.
No, yeah, nice round hips, plus you gotta throw back. I just